Yeah, oh right,
Yeah, so not far.
I was saying to these guys, I think they're probably the youngest people we've had on.
Yeah, you will be. Yeah, we may have to
So
make a comment
exciting.
about that. But yeah, because you're graduating this year, aren't you?
Yeah,
Salford.
in a few weeks.
Yeah.
I know,
That's so
exciting.
2 days before we do confession at the Fringe, which is it's
Yeah.
gonna be a bit of a mad week.
Oh my goodness, but that's great because in a way it's like you've got the impetus, you've got
Well,
like you're
yeah.
springing off into something and
the
it's...
party at the end of that week as well will
Oh.
be incredible.
Oh yeah,
We're
enjoy
We're gonna
it.
have to hold
You won't
ourselves
remember
back.
it, but
That's so funny. Yeah, that's so perfect. Yeah, I feel like when I graduated, it was like I'm an actor now, and then it was like just the wind whistling in the trees. Like
Yeah.
what am I gonna do? Whereas you guys are like, it's okay, we've got
Yeah.
something.
that's
immediately.
really good though. You know, you're at the start of your journey. You're going for it. You know, and you're already like you've got a show coming off. It's exciting.
Okay, well, I think it's time to kick off then.
Yeah, we'll get started.
Let's get started. Welcome back, everyone, to MITPod, the Manchester Indie Theatre podcast. You're here with me, Caroline.
And Amelia.
And today we have, I think, who might be our youngest guests yet on the podcast, and that's R&K Theatre. We have Gabe, Keogh and Alfie, Randell. And it's so great to have you guys on. I've been wanting to talk to recent graduates who are just entering the world of the theatre for like forever, so this is brilliant. And before we start chatting to them and talking about everything they've got coming up, it's time to kick off with our What's On in Manchester for this episode.
Yeah, so what's on in Manchester? Well, we have the Greater Manchester Fringe, which begins on the 1st of July in just a few days. And there's going to be so many brilliant Fringe theatre shows to catch up on all around Manchester for the entire month. So if you want to check out everything that's happening, head over to the Greater Manchester Fringe Festival website to see the full lineup. One of the shows that we're going to shout out today is East by Stir Crazy Productions, which will be on as part of the GM Fringe at the King's Arms from the 8th to the 11th of July. So just to give a bit of a synopsis, before EastEnders there was East. Set in a time of pleasure palaces, gin and ultra-violence, the play captures a very specific British era. If you've ever wondered what Shakespeare would have written had he grown up in the visceral East End of London in the early 1970s, Stephen Burkoff's play offers a fearless look into that world through the eyes of an everyday family. It stars our good friend Steve Connolly, who appeared on MITPod a few weeks back. So if you want to catch East by Stir Crazy Productions, head to the King's Arms between the 8th to the 11th of July.
We also have Little Deaths, which is coming to 53.2 on the 13th of July, and that's with Hazel Wing Theatre. The little blurb for that is, spanning over 5 years, the play focuses on She's memories of her relationship with Jack from ages 16 to 22. Jumping back and forth in time, we witness how Jack's behaviour affects She's relationship with her mum and her friends Rachel and Carrie. Like a disease, Jack spreads into every corner of She's life until there's no one left but him. And that's how he sustains his control over her, because if Jack goes, she will feel completely alone. That sounds like a really, that sounds like a really intense, very timely piece. So please do get to 53.2 on the 13th of July for Little Deaths, and we'll drop all these links in our description so you can have a little look and see what's on. But I think it's time to crack on.
Yeah, without further ado, we'll give an introduction to our brilliant guests today. So today we are joined by two members of R&K Theatre Company, Gabe, Keogh and Alfie Randell, with both actors originally from Greater Manchester. Gabe and Alfie graduate from the University of Salford this year. Gabe made his Greater Manchester Fringe debut last year in the play Boys We Knew at Salford Arts Theatre, and this summer he and Alfie are taking their own play, The Confession, a show they created at university, to the Greater Manchester Fringe. The Confession will be on at the King's Arms on Wednesday the 15th of July, and Gabe and Alfie will not only be starring in it, it will also be their debut as writers and directors. Their 45-minute play is a psychological thriller that follows Hector, a spy for a dangerous organisation who reaches the end of his employment and must confess to his sins. The play is surreal and postmodern in how it follows Hector navigate his psyche and traverses the line between life and death, and is designed to entertain audiences while also sending a clear underlying message when it comes to men's mental health.
That sounds like an absolutely fascinating piece. That sounds great. I also love the idea
Really
that you've
good.
got some like absurdism, some slight strangeness in there.
With that underlying kind of serious message there, which is great.
I love naturalism. I write a lot of naturalism, but I feel like I want to delve more into the weird and wonderful, and I don't think there's enough of that at the moment. I think you guys are bringing something really exciting.
And the Fringe is a great place for that as well.
It really is, yeah. I'm really excited.
I'm very excited to hear all about that.
Absolutely.
You both met at the University of Salford. So it'd be great to hear a bit more about how you guys first met, came together and started writing, and how R&K Theatre came to be.
Yeah.
Well, we met in first year, didn't we?
Yeah.
I remember, well, we were in different classes to start off with, and then they swapped all the classes around, didn't they? And that was how we met. It was like later on in first year, basically. But we didn't work together until, third year?
Third year, yeah.
And then we had like an exam, which was to put on a show together. And we just got in a group with each other and we're like, let's just put something together. We had about 6 weeks.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And we made The Confession, and that was in December last year. We made that, in like, 6 weeks? And then, but it got a good reception, and people were really lovely about it. So we decided, with a bit of encouragement, we decided, let's take it forward.
That's great. I hear lots about people who sort of either whether it's their final show at uni or just a project that they've kind of conceived together, and it just kind of takes wing and it just flies.
Yeah.
And it's so cool. It's such a good springboard for meeting new creatives. So many people we've had on here who are further down the line, who are older, met at uni and started off with a project and just didn't stop, just kept rolling. Sounds great.
I had some of the best experiences when I was at uni as well, creating things, because you have such like this group of like friends around you, and you're all driven and passionate about what you're doing, and you just come together and you can make some amazing, whether that's a short film or a play. I had some of the best memories from making like short films and plays when I was in my early 20s and from being a student. So yeah, I think it's a great place to make those connections, and I'm sure that people stay friends for years and years and years to come after that,
and collaborators as well. It's a good testing ground because you're in a pool of people, and you can then figure out who you work best with, instead of kind of being out on your own on a limb and just going to network, like awkward stilted networking events. No, you're immersed in a group, aren't you?
It was a perfect sort of like environment for like making something and testing the waters of like, can we work together? What does that look like? What does that entail?
It was so mad because we knew each other for like 2 years before. And we keep on saying, we were like, wow, we were friends for that long, and then we just found out we work so well together.
We've talked before.
That is the basis of a good collaboration, like just having that friendship and the fact that you can get on.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, when we talk to people like Bronte Appleby about building a team, one of her main things is you need to look for the rapport. You need to look for, obviously, the skill and the talent and the hard work is vital, but you also need to be able to get on, to trust each other. And
to be vulnerable with each other.
Yes.
I guess also when you have a friendship, you feel more comfortable, don't you, to say if you don't like an idea.
Yeah.
You need to be able to have that ability to speak to each other openly, especially if you're writing together.
We're definitely on that same way.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, you're like, you know what, I don't like that.
We've been there a few times.
Yeah, respectfully, with great respect. That's great. I think that's so lovely to hear, and it sounds like you've got a really good firm basis to kind of spring off into the creative world. And Manchester is going to be, I think, really supportive for you guys. It's such a good environment to bring work out, particularly when you're new, particularly when you're trying something out, or you have a new piece that we either want to develop or you just want to showcase for the first time. I think you're in a good position, I think, guys.
Yeah. So, Gabe, you made your Manchester Fringe debut last year.
Yeah.
And an award-winning show.
Yeah.
So, how was that? What was your experience like?
It was mint. Yeah, boys we knew at Salford Arts Theatre. Yeah, it was a great experience. I mean, Amelia Chinnery wrote that. Huge shout out to Amelia, because that was an incredible script, and she got Best Newcomer for that. And it was a joy to be a part of. Scott and Ronnie, who run Salford Arts Theatre, huge shout out to them and everything they're doing.
They're great
They're
people.
incredible.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible.
So impressive.
So it was a privilege really to do it, and I love this community. I love the Fringe community, and that's why when we were like, do we go ahead with doing this? I was like, absolutely, I think it'd be the perfect place to go and to dive into.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. It's really accepting. It's really supportive. And one thing it's quite interesting. I've been talking to people outside of the creative world, outside of the theatre world recently, who they think there are a lot of divas. They think there's a lot of like backbiting or whatever, and because that's the stereotype, isn't it, of sort of the arts industry. But actually, I've said to everyone who's sort of suggested that, like, no, it's so wholesome. It's so supportive. And if you are like that, if you work in a selfish way, if you work in a way that's a bit bitchy, if you work in a way where you're trying to undermine other people for your own benefit, you'll be found out really fast and no one will want to work with you.
Yeah.
It feels really comfortable, it feels really protective, and it's such a strong culture. So
Definitely.
it feels safe. At least at present it feels really, really nice and safe.
Yeah, and that is what you want also. You want to be part of something where, you know, you can really connect with like everyone around you and everyone makes you feel very welcome and part of that community. That is a big thing, for sure.
There's been so many pieces, either in development, new writing, everything like that I've been and seen at the Salford Arts Theatre, and it's so accessible. It's really supportive. Like you say, the guys that run it are just, they're tip-top, they're brilliant. So it's a great place to have your debut, definitely. So you've both had an interest in acting since you were very young, right? So each of you, is there a particular thing that drew you to acting or the theatre in general? It's such an unusual career path for a lot of people. What brought you to it to start with?
For me, it's a bit strange, actually. I've always been interested in, like, teaching acting.
Oh, cool, okay.
Which is a bit different than other people. Ever since an early age, it's just been my dream.
Yeah.
I think it's just so cool to share, like, your experiences and sort of teach the next younger generation. So hopefully in a high school one day, I can talk about the Fringe and sort of the time there.
You mentioned you volunteer with local youth acting groups and you're interested in that side of things.
Yeah, I've been at the Lowry for a year now.
Oh, really?
Volunteering, working with a bunch of young carers.
Oh, that's really cool. I didn't know that.
So just super exciting. I mean, it's quite hands-on, so I've been telling them about this. It's been like super sweet.
Oh, amazing.
That's so lovely.
Yeah, get them all to listen. Like,
I think creativity is such a vital outlet for people who are maybe living in difficult circumstances or who need an outlet. Theatre and the performing arts, the creativity itself is great, but the kind of side effects of catharsis, getting to know yourself and getting to know other people and sharing and communicating in therapy and things like that, it's needed, it's vital. So you're doing something wonderful there. That's so cool. And teaching as well. I could not teach. I couldn't direct. I couldn't teach. It terrifies me. Okay, I can make myself do it. I can make myself do it. It's not my thing. So anyone who can lead and teach and direct I'm always very impressed by them. So that's very exciting.
And that is great as well, because you are passing on something, you know, to younger people that are interested in pursuing that and being an actor or writer or just, you know, an all-round artist. Like, it's a great opportunity, I guess, to pass on from your own experiences and see them grow as well.
You're following in some pretty big footsteps as well to teach acting. You know, you've got Stanislavski, you've got Sanford Meisner, you've got the greats to draw upon, don't you? And then you can pick and choose your own models, can't you, from that, which is brilliant.
Would you say there is like a practitioner that you particularly admire, or what do you think is your process when it comes to like approaching a role?
I'd say Stanislavski is like my bread and butter. Like, I love the naturalism of that. But the cool thing about The Confession is we're kind of mixing these styles together in a weird way.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of Brecht techniques, a lot of like your Bertolt Brecht in there. So there's a lot of like, you know, your costume changes and we've got like a props table and things like that. I mean, that's the tip of the iceberg really, but I'm really interested in like what if you mix those things together, which is like not your average thing to do, but that's I think where it gets a bit surreal and a bit weird. So I like my bread and butter Stanislavski, but I think throw a bit of Brecht in there and it gets really exciting.
There you go.
I think one of our tutors was like, that's strange.
Yeah.
But it's interesting though.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's what you want. You want to get a reaction. You want someone to be kind of intrigued by what you're doing, don't you? And sort of like push the boat out, which is great.
Well, I think you're seeing it more and more in cinema at the moment, that kind of mix of high naturalism and absurdism. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen Everything Everywhere All at Once, but stuff like that where it's like the weirdest shit happens, the things that you could not possibly imagine happening, and yet the performance is so naturalistic, it's so believable, and I think those contrasts make things more interesting. I think the form being absurd but the content being natural is a really fun combo.
I think as well that's where we're kind of going with the whole, we want it to entertain people, we want people to go in and be like, whoa, this is mad, but like entertaining, but then there's that like content underneath where you're like, oh, actually this has like a serious message and it's about like something like really, it goes into like serious themes basically, but like it over the top, you're looking at it through that kind of weird, it's like putting a weird lens on something. You're sort of like,
it's like something you'll come away after and think about it and think, well, you know, and really unpack it, which is really good. You know, you want to kind of come away with questions, you want to go into the interval and be like, oh, and have loads to say.
It's on sale now. It's gone on sale this week, so you can book tickets in Oldham. Exciting. Dare to Know's their event.
So it's on at the Great Manchester Fringe first on the 15th, and then something that's just come together, which went on sale on Wednesday the 24th, was the Confessions in Oldham at the GM Theatre on Friday the 7th of August. So
amazing.
It will carry on after the Fringe. If you can't make it on Wednesday the 15th,
you can catch it again.
Not, you can watch it, or if you want to come again, if you want to watch it again.
Exactly.
Because if you think you want to answer some more questions and you want to,
so if you don't get to see it at the Fringe, you have another opportunity, and if you want to see it again, you have another opportunity. So there you go.
It'll be like the Matrix of Donnie Darko, where people don't get it the first time, like fully. They're like, oh, I got some of it, but I need to watch it again. See what other things they've hidden in there. That'd be so cool. And the themes as well sound really interesting. We've talked a little bit recently about hiding deeper themes underneath the surface, and it's so timely, the discussion of male mental health. There's a lot of talk about it, but there's always new angles to take on it. So I mean, if you're happy to talk a little bit about what inspired you to approach that theme, and like how, obviously no spoilers, but how it maybe plays out a little bit in the play, that'd be so interesting.
Well, we were in the pub and we were like,
that's all good ideas.
Where all the great ideas happen. And we were like, there's not enough stuff about men's mental health. Like, we felt like that. Like,
there's stuff about it, but not like, we felt like we could do sort of our own different thing.
Something different.
Yeah.
Because
we obviously both had our own experiences with it, and like I think that's the thing where like, what if we just kind of, it sounds cliche, but like, what if we did something a bit different? What if we did something a bit like, so for example, we're putting characters in more like grey areas. I don't want to get too philosophical here, but I think
please go
the
for
whole
it.
topic of like men's mental health, it can operate in like a grey area. Like, it's not necessarily very black and white, like you're either this or you're that. It can change day to day, or it can be like this and this, and that's kind of like characters. I think like characters can operate in that grey area where they can change day to day, like your mood can change day to day, and you can do things that might seem like out of character.
Absolutely.
But it's like, is that your character? Is that who you are? And I think we were like, those characters who operate in those kind of grey areas are really interesting. I'm trying not to give too much away.
No, like, please don't spoil it. But
like, let's see what we can do with like putting that character in there, in the eye of that storm.
That's so interesting.
And then seeing what unfolds from there.
It feels like mental health is it's an interesting lens to approach things through, because it's so unique to each person. And that's why, there may be work about male mental health or things focusing on male mental health out in various areas, but it's never going to be the same as the piece you're doing. It's never going to represent the issues that you're representing. It's a prime kind of subject matter for grey areas, as you say, because I love a grey area myself. I think it's so human to not have the answers and to not be able to be
explore that through work. Absolutely.
No, it sounds really fascinating, and it's about contract killers that are confessing. Is that right? Basically, the premise.
Yeah, there's a bit of spy action in there because we love that.
Of course, who doesn't?
Yeah, it's not what you're going to expect, I'm going to say.
A bit bonkers.
Yeah.
Good.
We love bonkers.
I think at the head of our course, Nikki, huge shout out to Nikki, head of our course, who encouraged us massively with this. She was really lovely in saying that she's like seen quite a lot of things like over the years, and she's not really seen anything like this, to be honest. So
that's great bit of feedback.
exciting, to be honest, as well. Yeah.
Absolutely. And of course, teachers and tutors aren't ones to give sort of inaccurate feedback. You know,
they will push you.
They'll push you and they'll tell you if something isn't going to work, you know, or they'll be as kind as they can and steer you in another direction if they think it's not going to work. So sounds very promising, doesn't it, really?
Yeah, and I do like as well the approach that you've wanted to kind of go down this sort of surreal route, but also, you know, put your own sort of print on it, because I think you can really tell stories, you know, with a genuinely serious message, like if through comedy and through the absurd and through the weird and wonderful in a way that I think can really connect with people. Because I think sometimes when, you know, it can be sort of head on as this is the subject and you're presented with that as an audience
like too
member,
on the nose, really.
very directly, it can almost be quite overwhelming sometimes.
For real, yeah.
And while that is also very powerful and great, it's interesting when you can explore that in a different way, in something that makes you think, oh, like what, you don't realise what you're actually watching until it clicks after. Do you know what I mean? You think it's about one thing and then...
Yeah.
But it's like fine art as well, isn't it? It's a bit like you can either do a photorealistic painting, photorealistic portrait, or you can do something abstract. And a lot of the time people find it easier to express inner feelings through abstract art or through something representative or something impressionistic, rather than it just being like, this is a picture of a person looking sad and it represents a person looking sad. I feel like it's much more interesting in some respects to play with things and to be a bit out of the box, a little bit strange. A big bit of me, that, definitely. Are you both looking to pursue a career in script writing, or is it yourself, Alfie, or are you both wanting to go into the writing?
Yeah, I feel like you're more the writer. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
But writing and acting and
they go
they all go hand in hand.
They definitely do, and they lend itself to each other, especially if you're like, you know, writing something and then you're in it yourself, and it's, you know, I think it can be a really great thing. But script writing as well as a discipline in itself, there's a lengthy process behind it, and I think that it's a very different experience than obviously getting up on stage. But how have you found that?
It's so strange because it's like I've only just started script writing and I've enjoyed it so much.
Yeah.
This year I've only really started, which is just quite mad. Having my dreams being teaching, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm kind of good at writing. That's like a whole new career line.
But also they can feed into each other as well. Like, I think that there are people that worry that they need to pick a lane, and you really absolutely don't. And the creative industries is a really great example of why actually pigeonholing yourself is the worst thing you could do. Your writing will inform your teaching. A lot of the best teachers and directors that I know are really sort of literary, really text-based. They know how to pull it apart, they know how to explore it and examine it, and that's a really good place to come from if you're teaching. Certainly teaching acting and certainly teaching writing, they inform each other.
Definitely. And just getting something actually finished as well,
yes.
You know, and actually bringing it, you know, to the stage or to the screen, whichever, you know, one you go for. It's, you know, it is a very different, as we say, a very different discipline. But I started off actually as a writer before I ventured into acting. Like I kind of, when I was about 17, I had this dream. I was like, I want to be a script writer. That's what I want to do. And I got very into going on BBC Writers' Room, and I was looking at all the example scripts, you know, and I was obsessed with, you know, stand-up comedy, but also like BBC sitcoms, and I was watching kind of anything and everything to try and learn about that format and write myself. I think I'd always loved acting, but I think I found kind of my place in the world through my writing at first. Like I got to sort of work with other actors as a writer, kind of found my way into it through that way. You can be a writer, think you're a writer, and then end up doing all these other different things because you're actually interested in sort of doing all of it. Or you can be an actor and think, oh, I actually want to be a writer and a producer and a director, you know?
But all of these things allow you to dictate your own place in the theatre world. And I think a lot of people, like we had Danny Ryder on as our last guest and our previous guest, and he was sort of talking about a lot of people sit around waiting for the phone to ring and thinking it's going to come to them. And people are very quickly realising that is, it's no bearing on how talented you are. It's just so saturated. You just need to just get on with it, do it yourselves. that's all you can do. And it sounds like you guys are really doing that, which is really cool.
You're being
really
so
exciting.
proactive, like you're getting yourselves out there. You've got this, the collaboration that you've got going in your own show, and you're just doing it. And I think that that's so important. I am very excited for this as well.
Me too. I mean, but it's early days for you guys, I suppose, just in your career. But like, do you have like a process that you follow together when you're putting something on, or is it like, are you still kind of figuring that out? Because that's allowed, obviously. I'm still figuring it out.
I'm definitely still figuring it out.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I think we're still just figuring it out, to be honest with you. Like, I think what was really nice was having the opportunity at uni to practice sort of putting on a show with that exam that we did with Confession the first time around. It was sort of like you had to do all the things, and you like fill in the forms and hit the deadlines and do all this in quite a short span of time. So that was a nice like sort of like testing ground, wasn't it? But yeah, I think going back to what you were saying before about all the kind of waiting for the phone to ring, that's the name of the game really. It's like, if you don't learn how to like pick up the phone and dial it, like you're not going to have a career. It's like you've got to, and I think that's a big part of it for us. We're just like, let's just get out there. Let's just send that email, make that phone call, ask that person to do this, because then like we just want to get our stuff out there and like put ourselves like out there as what we want to do. And we are still figuring out the process, but we're confident in what we're doing, and we believe in it.
I definitely, and that comes across as well. You can tell that you really know what you want to say with this show. You've really thought about that from that development to now, when it's about to be on, you're really confident in that, and that's great. And I think you have to back yourselves.
Oh yeah.
And you have to believe in what you're doing. And I think that when you believe in it, then everyone around you is going to believe in it and believe in you as well.
Yeah, and throwing yourselves into it is what you need to do. Like you say, you just need to, you're the one that needs to pick up the phone. You're not waiting for it. And
I really love that.
I love
That's a really great point.
Really good analogy, because no one will know where you are or who you are unless you do that. And the process will come. You'll fall into a rhythm, and you'll try things out, and you'll be like, yeah, that worked okay, but how about we don't do this and we do, or you do this, I assign this role to you and I'll assign this role to me. And it's just natural and it's organic. Do you think at this point it would be good to go back through our What's On?
Yep, so just to recap, the Greater Manchester Fringe will be starting on the 1st of July in just a few days' time. So you absolutely need to get yourselves to the venues around Manchester for that. There's going to be so many amazing Fringe shows happening, 53-2, the King's Arms, oh gosh, countless places that you can go, and we'll be definitely giving a shout out to as many as we can. But if you have a show as well that you want us to give a shout out, please let us know and we can also promote that. We'll just give another shout out to our East by Stir Crazy Productions, which is going to be on at the King's Arms from the 8th to the 11th of July. And this is a play that captures a very specific British era. So for those wondering what Shakespeare would have written had he grown up in the visceral East End of London in the 70s, well, this play is going to offer that. And it stars our good friend Steve Connolly, who was also on MitPod a few weeks back. So if you do want to watch East by Stir Crazy Productions, it's going to be on at the King's Arms between the 8th to the 11th of July.
And then we have Little Deaths, which is Hazel Wing Theatre. And this is a piece that spans over a 5-year timescale, focusing on a toxic relationship between the characters She and Jack, which I think is a really timely piece. It's going to be, like I say, 13th of July at 53-2. These are just two of the venues that you can go and watch productions at. You can also go on the Greater Manchester Fringe website. They've got a whole What's On listing, so just explore and see. There's all kinds
Including the Confession,
which that's also at King's Arms, isn't it?
Yeah.
Brilliant venue, really supportive.
Amazing.
You're really, obviously all the Fringe venues are superb, but you're very lucky that you are in the hub of the Fringe. Shout out Lisa Connor, who runs it, who was on this podcast a few weeks ago. Yeah, you're in really good hands there.
Oh yeah, you guys, have you been able to get to a coffee morning? How have you found actually the promotion side coming up to the Fringe? Because that's like a whole thing in itself, isn't it?
Marketing and stuff is not something that you go to uni to learn if you're being an actor or a writer, but then you got to do it.
Yeah,
suddenly.
that's self-promotion,
Yeah. We're going to the launch party tomorrow.
Oh, okay,
exciting! But that'll be our first sort of mixer, won't it? We've not been able to get to any the sort of the coffee mornings yet.
Yeah.
We're really looking forward to getting to meet people and because you talk to a lot of people over email, and you see people on social media, and you might see them in their shows, but you don't. It'd be nice to get a chance to chat to people and be like
faces to names and stuff.
That kind of thing. So we found the marketing really bizarre, but just taking every opportunity that comes along. I think again, like, you know, like
you're learning as you go as well.
Just like if you don't get yourself out there and put yourself out there, like we're going to be on Salford City Radio on Tuesday.
Brilliant.
Oh, brilliant.
With Ian Rothwell. So
Great.
And you know, so that we're really looking forward to doing that. And yeah, we just want to put ourselves on the map really, and sort of say like this is
who
what
you
we're
are.
doing, and this is who we are. And you know, I can't think of a better time to start doing that than now when we graduate.
Yeah, I'm so excited. So when is your graduation?
13th of July.
That's
Oh,
crazy.
wow,
Yeah.
right in the heart of the Fringe.
Yeah.
Everything is
Feels
timed
fitting.
so well for you guys. I think, like I was saying earlier, I think that you've got the run up, haven't you? You're not going to have a chance to kind of like nosedive afterwards. You're just going to have
going
to keep
straight
going.
into it, and it carries on, and it says, you know, because you can go to uni and you're studying, and you know you're in this environment, but then you're going out into the Manchester scene, and you're bringing a piece that you developed while as students, and you're taking it forward, which is great. And I think that's like, isn't it that the goal for every young student, I think, is
For real.
to stay motivated and to keep going and to bring their work and their ideas to Manchester.
Yeah, the timings sound like they worked really well. And not to get meta, but like just with your marketing, with your outreach, we were talking before about how excellent your outreach email to us was. Your
It was
touching
really,
base.
really good.
Really professional, really, really well put together. And, you know, I know a lot of people who've been working in the arts industry for way, way longer than even me, certainly way longer than you guys, who miss out details. They're not as sort of personable, and they're not, I mean, it's a skill, it's a real skill that's difficult to develop, but you've done like a really, really good job, and that's why obviously you've managed to get on the radio as well.
Yeah, you're very clear. Like I said, you know what you want to put across. You've got this show that you've done. You're proud of it, and you want everyone to see that. And you've really like unpacked exactly what it is that you want to put across to everyone, and that definitely comes across.
It is quite nice actually that the last episode was Danny, and Danny was saying things like, "Oh, people need to make sure that they're putting the work in,
That's
they're
very
getting out
true.
there."
Yeah,
you know,
and
saying,
you guys are doing just that.
Yeah.
Like he'd be very happy if I could hear his like Manc accent in the background.
yeah, doing a good job.
You're doing a good job.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's the risk, I think, at present of falling down that hole of expecting a lot but not putting yourself out there, and it's the opposite of what's happening with you guys. You know the work you have to do to get that reward, and it seems like you're really going for it.
Is there anything else that you guys wanted to share or talk about?
Any kind of nuggets of inspiration?
Yeah, so we've got something called a graduate scholarship. So
Okay.
We're one of the uni's supported artists for 2026-27, which we didn't think they would like put anything on about until like graduation, but they put like a big blog on yesterday, and
Hey,
it's
amazing.
fully come out now. So yeah, so that will help fund and will help like cover costs for like everything going forward. And I mean, we can't thank the university and the donors and everything enough for that. Like we're incredibly grateful. Like it's kind of overwhelming how like we're so like thankful for that, and we feel incredibly lucky, and we will absolutely honour the generous commitment that they've made.
That's so incredibly impressive,
yeah.
And how exciting. Yeah, I didn't even realise that was something that you could get. That's
that's great.
So congratulations, guys.
Massive
That's-
congrats.
And great of the uni as well, like you say. What an opportunity, especially in such a difficult industry. Because, you know, we can't sugarcoat it. You know you're going into a tough world, but that sounds like it'll set
You're
you
very
up
equipped
so
there,
well.
and you know you've got everything. You've got your confidence, and you've got each other as well, which is great. And
But you've earned it. You've clearly
100%.
earned it. And I mean, obviously you're at the start of your careers, but maybe for other people in your position, have you got any advice that you'd give other people? Even if it's someone who's just starting uni or looking at where they'd study or anything like that.
yeah, or someone who might, have wanted to always do this, but
Yeah.
just hasn't been able to kind of sit down or doesn't know where to start with it,
Yeah. Any thoughts at all?
It sounds simple, but just keep your eye out. Like, get involved with everything. Say yeah. It sounds like a cliche, but cliches are true. Like, say yes to everything. Just, like, just back yourself. Know what you've got. Know what you're capable of. And that's hard to do. That's hard to find that confidence to do it. We've been very lucky we've had a lot of encouragement from the staff at uni, and we're really appreciative of that. And if you're in our position or you're starting off at uni, just back yourself and know what you're capable of. and know what you can bring to the table and say yes to everything and keep your eye out and just keep going for stuff, I guess.
It sounds like you've got kind of two sides of a coin there as well, because you're saying say yes to everything, but also back yourself. And that's interesting how they complement each other, because yes, say yes to everything, but say yes to everything on your terms. You're allowed to do that even in early days, because we were talking about this earlier, that we do talk about working for free, whether or not you should. So always consider what you're going to get out of that. If it's not monetarily rewarding, is it going to be experience? Is it going to be something that you'd otherwise be paying for?
Are you contributing to a really great cause?
Yes.
Are you going to make really great connections and friendships, and you get an opportunity to challenge yourself, work with other creatives that all want to do the same thing?
But also, like, early on is the time when this was Natalie Beach saying at the beginning of your career is the time when you have the most say over what you do, because the more successful you get, the more other people have a stake in what you do, and you're going to potentially let people down, or you worry about that anyway. Right now is the best time to try these things out, to say yes,
and to have fun with it.
But also, it's still never too early. I know it feels like you want as many opportunities as you can get. It's never too early to vet everything very carefully and see what is in it for you. What about yourself, Alfie?
Just keep looking online. Like, it won't come to you. Just keep on the socials, because this is how we found this, and then the radio, and even Dare to Know. Like, go online. It definitely won't just pop out at you.
That's a more positive side of social media, isn't it?
Definitely.
There's been a lot of debate about
strange.
that.
Such a strange world, that. Yeah.
You can find so much on social media, whether you have a love-hate relationship with it or not. It's definitely a great platform for creatives and able to sort of promote their work and find out what's going on, especially in the Manchester community.
For real, yeah. But any additional final thoughts?
Any thoughts
guys?
from both of you? This is...
You're on the
it's
cusp
been
of
absolutely brilliant talking to you as well, by the way. I'm so excited for you. So if you have any final thoughts, anything else you want to plug or anything, then please do let us know.
Just thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's been a real pleasure.
It's been lovely to chat, and thank you for the opportunity.
God, well, you guys are on
so much.
like such a cusp of such an exciting thing. I'm pretty envious of you guys, actually. If I could do it again,
I
in a
would
heartbeat.
definitely. And I'm so excited for your show as well, and I wish you all the success with it. And we've got the Fringe, but then I'm sure you'll go on to do so much more, and I'm very excited to see where you both go. And
absolutely. Congrats on what promises to be a really exciting few weeks, at least, if not, and a very exciting career. But thank you so much, everyone, for listening. Thank you so much for
thank
R&K
you to
Theatre
Gabe and
Company.
Alfie.
So good to have you on. So lovely to chat to you. Keep an eye out for them. They are going to be a big noise. But again, thanks to our listeners. If you want to be a guest on the Manchester Indie Theatre podcast, then all you need to do is email mitpoddy@gmail.com, mitpoddy@gmail.com. You don't have to have a guest spot. If you don't want to come on and talk to us, you can also send us voice notes. You can send us listener questions, anything you want to know.
We'd really love to hear from you. You absolutely, there's no pressure to come on the podcast, but if you want to send us a little quick voice note, we're sharing your thoughts or asking a question.
We can shout out a show of yours that's coming up, an opportunity you've got to offer, anything like that.
So we can play that on the podcast, so just let us know. But if you just want to drop us an email looking for a certain opportunity, then we might be able to connect you up with somebody.
We'll always do what we can, absolutely. But follow us on Instagram at MIT_pod, and like and subscribe on both our platforms, YouTube and Spotify, to get notifications about next episodes that are coming up. And check out the links about everything we've talked about in our bio below. But
it's all in the link tree.
It's all in the link tree, absolutely. We're organised. But from us and from our wonderful guests, thank you so much for listening, and
thanks everyone. Thanks, bye.